Hello, good day to you. It's me, Andy, and this is Andy Wright's Travel. Now, there's a story for you that's come out. Now, regardless of how you spin this, it's about the whole virus thing, how it's been handled, etc., etc. Whatever your beliefs, people, whether you believe it's real or you believe it's not real, whether you agree with the jib jab, or whether you don't agree with that. There is an element of this in freedom, okay? Having freedom of choice. Now, when somebody, and that, I talk about somebody there, in power, is making a choice over your life, allegedly for the good of you and everybody else, you should have a say in that matter. Unfortunately, the circumstances of how it's going at the moment is that you will not have a choice, that this is going to be mandatory, contrary to what people argue, and there are quite a few people arguing about it can't do it, they can't do it, but they can. And they will. And here is an example of how they can do it. So rather than telling you you must have it by law, which they could do that anyway, but they will get a lot of pushback, they just push it down from the top. So it's mandated down to the airlines, unfortunately, and here are two airlines which are falling for the scam, basically, and it's a way to bring in mandated testing and jib jabs. Emirates and Eithad are trialling a IATA travel pass, electronic travel pass, which, you know, you would think is probably a good thing. It's a good thing. It will probably speed things up. Have your passport on your phone. I don't see how it would help because you've still got to have your passport. So, hey, but I can see where this is going, and I don't like it where it's going, unfortunately, because I do not wish to have the jib jab. I don't want to be forced into having something that I do not want. But unfortunately, these airlines, who, if they carry on with it, I will never be flying with, as also Qantas, they have a no test or no jab, no fly policy, as do I believe Ryanair. They have a no test, no fly, and I believe that they will go even further than that. They will go no jab, no fly, eventually. Now, what we got to remember is they can't. Nobody can mandate this yet, because there will be a huge amount of pushback. The reason why I say it, there is 66 million people in the UK, right? They want to jab everybody eventually. So if we call it around about 60 million, they want to force to have it. They've done 3 million so far, okay, or just over 3 million, okay. So there's another 57 million to do. Now, if they mandated this now, I think a lot of those would say, get lost. And they would not agree with it. So what they're doing is they're allowing everybody that wants it, okay, and there are a lot of people who are having it, and they have no idea. They're not even asked any questions about it. They just lined up like compliant sheep, and they've had this jib jab, and as a lot of people have found out to their expense, that they cause problems. It causes health issues, and I don't want to get into that. I want to get into this, which is the story. But you need to have the background of it first. So where we are at the moment is it's not mandatory, it's not law, but what they are doing is bringing it in the back door. So if you don't have it, you can't do this. If you don't have it, you can't do that. If you can't have it, if you don't have it, you can't fly. And this is what they're doing. So this will only affect people that want to travel. For me, I want to go and see my wife. Anyway, for those compliant people that want it, this will not affect you. You're just going to have your jib jab, and if you're still alive after you've had it, you can fly. Please remember, having the jib jab, it does not prevent you from getting it, and it does not prevent you from passing it on. Just remember that. And there is no liability for the makers. So if you get a jib jab and you have a health problem, it's basically tough titties. You get nothing. Emirates and Etihad will be amongst the first airlines in the world to use IATA's Travel Pass app, with trials to begin very soon. It allows you to create a digital version of the passport and to manage your jab and test status. It is a name, actually, they try and negate all of this with it's intended to help contactless travel through the airport, but we all know the real reason for this is to record your testing and your jib jab. Nothing else. It's got nothing to do with anything else. This is purely about the test, which is a PCR test, and the PCR test is 97% false positive. So they're forcing you to have something which is going to give a false positive result anyway. This is the one where they shove the thing up your nose, by the way, in case you're wondering. And of course later on, even though they say it's not going to do that, it will be about whether you've had a jib jab, because they're going to make this very difficult to travel if you do not have it. At the moment, it's very basic. It's just a test. If you're going to Thailand, they force you to have a test, and you have to have that 72 hours before you go. You have to have another one when you get there, which I can't see the point of that, but hey. Bear in mind that asymptomatic people do not pass it on anyway. So even if you haven't got it and you tested negative, they're going to do another test. And if you are positive, then obviously you're in the shit up to your neck, because you'll end up being quarantined. The app will enable passengers to find information on travel and entry requirements, which we already know, a registry of testing, and at some point vaccination centres that are going to be all around the country to get your jib jab. So these new protocols and travel requirements with the current global scamdemic, they have been working with the IATA on this solution, which has nothing to do with travel. It's all about the jib jab. So it's very difficult to talk about this without mentioning the various aspects of this story. And whether you agree with it or not is entirely up to you. You need to, if you're one of those people that says that I'm a anti whatever, then you really do need to open your eyes up and do a little bit more research, because the evidence is out there if you care to look. This is the whole thing about control, New World Order, and the World Economic Forum. Regardless of what you think about that, it's the truth. Right, that's it then. Have a good day. See you next video. Bye for now.